Good evening. How we all doing? My name is Leo Padilla. I'm here to give you an instructional video on how to break down measurements, fractions, and cut them in half. I have roughly about 20 years experience out in the field in regards to carpentry, doing residential, stick framing, heavy highway, high-rise buildings, parking structures, commercial stuff of that nature. What I'm here to do today is try to break some things down. A lot of times what happens is that we get rushed out on the job site, and when we gotta go measure a room and we gotta break that in half, if we don't have a calculator, all of a sudden our minds start wandering and trying to figure it out and writing it on a piece of wood, trying to figure out what we need to do. And another thing people do is they go right to their tape, and what they do is they end up grabbing their tape and they have a measurement that they go and they measure their wall. And let's just say it was 12 foot 6 3/4. They're gonna go and wrap their tape around, find that 12 foot 6 and try to match it up, and then they go and they ask their partner, hey, what does that say down there? Well, here's the problem. We're not going to figure out what half of that measurement is by doing it that way. I'm here to give you a quick rundown to make it pretty simple. As you can see, I have written up here, even equals easy. Why? Because in grade school, in high school, going through school, anytime we did math, it was always easier when it was even. Easier to add, subtract, multiply, divide. Now, when it came to odd numbers, yeah, our brains would throw us for a little bit of a loop, and it would make us feel like we had to work a lot harder. So a lot of us would strive away from it just to get away from it. But this video here, we're going to focus more on all the even numbers. And then there will be a part 2 to this in regards to going over the odd numbers, right? So when we're talking about even numbers, you can see I have right now 10 and 5/8. That's my number right there. And when I'm talking about the even number, I'm talking about the even whole number. I'm not talking about the fraction, right? So the first thing we want to do is realize what our equation is. So we know it's even, so we already know it's going to be easy, right? You're probably saying, yeah, right, it's that easy. It actually really is. So now that we've realized that this number is even, I could go right into breaking up this fraction. Now, I'm going to draw it out. If you guys would like to follow along, you're more than welcome to. I make it pretty easy, pretty clear, and pretty concise for you guys to figure it out. So anytime our fraction and our whole number is even, when our whole number is even, we start working on the fraction. And that fraction, anytime it is your whole number is even, that top number is going to always stay the same. It'll always stay the same. It'll never change. Now, the bottom number, when even or odd, doesn't matter, will always multiply by 2. 8 times 2, 16. Then I want to break up that 10 in half. That gives me 5 and 5/16. 5 and 5/16 plus 5 and 5/16 gives you a total 10 and 5/8. Real simple, real easy. I like to break them down. I like to leave them like this for when I have a class or when I'm trying to teach someone. This is how I normally teach it. Now, I know I said there will be measurements that we're going to go over. Well, this is just a start. You got to start small in order to work your way up to go to the bigger ones, right? So let's do another small one, similar size, and we'll go from there. So if I had 14 3/4 of an inch, right? Again, this is a whole number that is even. What do we say when it's even? It's easy. So again, I know I could leave the whole number alone right now. I know I could go to the fraction, and just like with the 10 and 5/8, that 5 stayed the same, this 3 will come down and stay the same. Now when I go to the bottom number, remember, regardless, if even or odd, that number will always double, times 2. That gives you 4 times 2, 8. We want to break that 14 up, divide it in half. That gives us 7 and 5/8 plus 7 and 5/8 would give us 14 and 3/4. Again, pretty simple, pretty easy. Now I'm going to wipe this down. So if you guys jotted this down or you guys took a screenshot of the video, whatever you've done, you guys are going to see, because now I'm going to go into the feet and inches, not just inches. Okay, again, we're going to start off with even numbers because it's going to make it easy. We're going to start off with the number 4 foot 4, and let's just make it pretty simple and go off of an 8. So I have 4 foot 4 and an 8. We got to go all the way over here to make sure that we're even. Even number? Okay, we're checked. That's good. Is 4 inches an even number? Yeah, that's another check. So we're good there. So that tells me now I could go start working on my fraction. Just like with the last one, when we had the 10 and 5/8 or the 14 and 3/4, we were able to go right into that fraction. That top number would stay the same. That bottom number would double. Half of 1/8 is 1/16. Now, I'm going to divide that 4 inches in half, and that's going to give me 2. I'm going to divide this 4 feet in half, that's going to give me 2 feet. So your total number after breaking up 4 foot 4 and 1/8 would come down to 2 foot 2 and 1/16. You guys are probably saying, wow, that's pretty simple. Well, we want to break it down simple because out in the field, the last thing I need being a boss would be somebody having to wrap their tape around and trying to figure out the number. Here, when you're rushed, you can hurry up and write this number down on a piece of block or whatever it is, and you can start doing your math if you didn't have a calculator, obviously. So now I'm going to take that one down. And we're going to get a little tricky with it. Okay? I'm going to get a little tricky with it because I can't just make it all easy. I got to give you guys something to work towards. So here, we're going to use 1 foot, 6, and let's go 3/8 of an inch. Even? No, that's an odd number. Is this even? Absolutely. But hold on. We have to wait because 1 foot is technically 12 inches. So now, if I take that 12 inches and add it to that 6 inches, that's going to give me 18 inches. Is that an even number? Absolutely. So now, I'm going to, since I've canceled all this out, I've added that together. I got 18 inches and 3/8. That means I can start working on my fraction because this is even. Bring that top number down. Double the bottom. Half of 18. 9 3/16 of an inch. Again, this one was a little different because we had an odd number in the feet, but in reality equals 12 inches, which makes it even. We just had to break it down all the way to the inches in order to get where we needed to get. Right? So one more time, let's do another fraction in regards to even, and then we'll go from there. You guys are probably saying these are unrealistic numbers that we're going to deal with out in the field. So, okay, let me get it a little bit bigger for you guys. Let's go 12 foot, 8 and 7/8. That seems like it would be a little difficult for us out in the field. To break something down like that, even, that means I could work on my fraction. Now, we already know half of 12 is 6, half of 8 is 4. We're already in the game to bring this number down, double the bottom. Half of 8 is 4, half of 12 is 6. That gives us 6 foot 4 and 7/16, which is half of 12 foot 8 and 7/8. Now understand out there on the field, a lot of times what happens is we're rushed. We're rushed because the productivity has sped up a lot faster than it has in the past couple of years. I know we get flustered, I know we get nervous, and we tend to try to rush things. Just try to remember what you've learned here and what you've learned in other videos of mine. Just be patient and work towards the goal of teaching yourself, right? These are great examples. I hope they work for you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. I hope this was helpful and stay safe out there. Thank you. Better?
Yep, I think we went over 10 to this. And